Awesome, man. And I have Ruben Mata today on the podcast. And Ruben is a high performance coach, a mindset coach, a success coach, and just all things inspirational, motivational, man. And I'm so thankful that you're able to join me today, Ruben. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome, man. Well, I know we were just chatting a minute, and you just booked a new conference over in London, and you're super busy and traveling the world, man. And before we kind of get into what you do, inspiring people and helping people, tell us a little bit about your journey. How did you become the coach that you are today? What kind of process that led you to that?
Yeah, growing up, it was in a gang challenged neighborhood, the whole challenges and seeing my brothers get locked up and seeing I don't have to be a product of the environment, from a young age, realizing that, and got into sports. I started playing semi-pro ball, got injured, went to school, back to college, and then I became a mechanic for Toyota for 15 years. It was like master tech, did that, turned wrenches, which was great, but then I got to that point where it's like, is this all I'm going to do? And got into the mortgage real estate industry, started making 7 figures. It was amazing until the market crashed. And I was overextended, didn't know how to manage the money. I knew how to generate it, but not manage it.
Right.
And lost, everything. It was the houses were getting repoed. And like I shared, it was like the tow trucks make a distinct noise when they come for your car. They're repoing the cars and, that beep, beep.
Yeah.
5 in the morning, like checks in the mail, And the last 2, I just turned them in. I was like, you know what, here.
Yeah.
So that was a challenge. And because I was tied to money, I was tied to the dollar. And having that being taken away and the houses repoed, we had 7 homes foreclosed on. And it was an amazing time because I realized that with the tow trucks being towed and the houses being foreclosed on, a lot of my confidence, pride, and the posture was in that. And it was in a dark place that I wanted to check out and had a real check-in time with where I was at, changed my ways, so it was, my environment changed. I got into personal development, changed a lot of things. And at that time, it was mindset that was changed. I got to this one event I got invited to. It's called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind with T. Harv Eker. Wow, and I went to that event, and that changed my life. I was like, man, this is great stuff. I was introduced to personal development and got into that, started applying the principles and strategies, meeting new people. And I was like, one of these days, I'm going to be up there giving these events, and this was in 2007.
Wow.
So I started going and doing these events. And then I met other people, opened new doors of opportunity, wrote a book, got back into the real estate industry. However, I was being a success coach, productivity coach, and for a big company. And I was thinking, hey, I could do this on my own. I could build my own company. So the entrepreneurial mindset kicked in. Started doing that, and it started taking off. And I got into NLP, and I became a master practitioner in NLP. Started training people in NLP of how powerful it is, of how mindset is about. Our programming is just what we're running every day of our past events.
Right.
And we can delete those old programs to start a whole new way of life by a new belief system. And that's where it blew up. I started doing a lot of stuff, got successful, started giving these MMI, Millionaire Mind Intensives. I was the lead trainer after the, years before. I said, I'll be up there one day, and it manifested.
Wow.
So I was able to start traveling the world. I started becoming a trainer for them. I started doing my own stuff. And I was sharing the stage with Robert Kiyosaki. I did an event with Les Brown. We did 2 events in Dubai with Les Brown. Know him personally. We, got him out there to do events for a crypto company that I was training the leaders in over 100 countries. I lived in Dubai for 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like all these things happening in London. We're doing London again now. Dubai, we're going to go at the end of February, launch another company. And visualizing it, because what you visualize, you materialize. And all that happening is like, oh my goodness, it was all written years before, but a lot of stuff needed to happen. Like they were sharing Are you taking the stairs to success or the elevator? Because every step that we take towards our success, there's a learning in there.
Yes.
And a
Yes.
lot of people, as you know, in the industry, they want the elevator because we're in a quick fix society, a
Yeah.
microwave society where we want it now. And it's like,
Absolutely.
that's short lived is a success when one takes the elevator.
No, for sure, Ruben. And man, that's there's a lot there, man. And I think and that's, I'm glad you said that, because I think a lot of people, they see the end result. They see you on stage, they see
Yeah.
people with successful companies, and they're like, oh man, they just see the tip of the iceberg, but they don't see all the work that went into that. And then also all the application, and I think people, should embrace that journey, more often, because that's, like you said, that's what gets you the long-term success. I mean, it is actually going through the process.
Yeah, like you say, how deep are your roots? You can only grow as high as your foundation is deep.
Right.
And when the storms of life come, how deep are we rooted? And the only way you could have deep roots is doing the work.
Absolutely.
You're rolling up your sleeves. Let's go. Let's cultivate this thing. Let's get rooted into this situation, the foundation we're in. Because when the storms, when things happen, especially in the real estate industry and investing, and on the 12th hour, it's like, are you kidding me? And they want this condition, and this came up on title, and there's clouts, and they started pulling credit, and they pulled the vehicle, all these things, different dynamics, because the process is the same in every transaction. It's the scenario that's different every time.
Wow.
The process is the same. We need A, B, C, D, all of these for this transaction to close. But the scenario is different in everyone.
Right.
That's the learning where the warrior comes out and saying, there's no deal dead in the water with me, buddy. We're going to figure this out.
Yeah. I love it, man.
Yeah. When I was doing, like, what's the next step?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Versus just giving up on it. Like,
yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah.
It's like, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want, how much are you committed? Like they say, are you interested or are you committed?
Right.
People are interested. They want to make the money. Oh my God. Like you said, they see the end result. Man, I want to play on game day, but they don't see all week during practice.
Exactly.
They want to suit up. They want stage time. It's like, nah, put in the work.
Absolutely.
They see you having all this success, and they're like, oh, Blake is doing this. Oh man, yeah, it must be great. But they don't see behind the scenes.
No, man, it's not as glamorous as what people dude, it's not as glamorous, man. And there's, like you said, Ruben, there's so many times you get punched in the gut, and it's like, you have that moment where you have to recalibrate yourself, you know what I mean? And I think that's why it's so powerful for coaches like you to teach people those skills to be able to recalibrate and move forward, because it's an actual skill. I mean, it's something that you actually have to cultivate, just like you said. And I think as business owners and entrepreneurs, I mean, if you're not into personal development, you're not building your mindset, I mean, you're going to get left behind.
Exactly. It's like on the way or in the way. It's like people are like, well, in the training you were sitting in, the one we're having in Miami, it's like people, you either slow down to their pace or they speed up to yours.
Right.
Because when we help people, I get it, we help people, but if they're not as committed as one, why am I going to slow down my momentum to help them out when it's like, hey, we're in this. Absolutely. Like there's only so many seats on the vehicle that you're driving. Absolutely. Either they're going to get in or it's moving. Right. You can't slow down and keep it. It's like on the way or in the way. People are either building you up or holding you down.
100%. And so that actually leads me to a question that I have, and I think this is going to be good for people that have teams. So they have a team of people. Obviously, if you're the leader and the business owner, you're 99% of the time going to be, the one who's driving the ship, and you should be. So the people that are on your team that are not keeping up, how do you know when to let someone go versus, okay, you know what, they need a little bit more coaching, they need a little bit more uplifting? How do you know when it's good and appropriate to let somebody go?
It's addressing the situation. It's like, where are you at? What because if there's not enough value for them to engage into production or activity, then if it's making that decision of on the way or in the way.
Right.
it's like when I was doing that, the metaphor of the balloon, the hot air balloon, sandbags keep the hot air balloon down.
Right.
It's like the only way that thing could go up is when they remove the sandbags.
Mm.
So what are the sandbags in your business?
Wow. That's huge.
And that's once you identify it in a visual, because the mind works on picture, sounds, and feelings. Once you get it out of the person and put a sandbag there and label the sandbag, because nothing has meaning except the meaning you give it.
Wow.
So now we, instead of the sandbag, it's the person. It's like, oh, now I get it. So now this person is holding us down from our business going up.
Right.
So it's a
Right.
different perspective on the same scenario.
Yeah, that's huge. And it's hard. I think it's hard for people to let some people go, you know?
Yeah, and that's a belief.
Right.
Remember, nothing has meaning except the meaning we give it. What's hard is when there's no money to pay the bills. That's hard.
I
That's
agree
a
with you.
result of not taking action on eliminating some of the people.
Right.
And
That's
it's not
huge.
bad. It's just, and that's when I had, I had mortgage company, real estate company. I don't want to let people go. The market crashed in 07, 08, and I was taking out of the savings account, none coming in. And all of a sudden, once it's like, that's it, exhausted all the resources.
Damn.
Then it's like, oh man, that sucks. What a good, you're letting us go. And I was like, I kept you 4 months.
Right. 4
and
months
didn't
too
let you
long.
go. And the nice guy and stuff, it's like, it's nothing personal, it's business.
Right.
And once we have our business mindset hat on, it's like, it's either going to help our business or hurt us.
Wow.
Nothing personal. It's just, this is where we're at, and give them a task. And if they don't complete the task, why am I going to be so committed to you if you're not committed to me or committed to the
100%.
company, committed to the
100%.
cause?
100%. I think
Because
that's huge,
I'm
man.
going to generate income, the ROI on your time and your money. And if there's not getting any income, of influx of money, then hey, we're going to go down.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
it's a point of decision, not a hard decision. Remove hard and put point of decision.
I like that. I like that. That's huge. I mean, once you reframe it like that, Ruben, and it's yeah, because you're right, because that is a belief. Oh, it's hard to let people go.
Mhm.
But when you look at it from, it's just a point of decision. Are they an asset? Are they a liability?
Exactly.
And
it's nothing personal.
right.
It's just, maybe they got something great. Maybe you need some time or whatever. I like in the movie Full Metal Jacket, I am hard, but I am fair. The more
Right.
you hate me, the more you'll learn, right? It's like,
Right.
let's do this. We're in for business. I get it. There's a time for everything. Time to laugh, a time to cry, a time to do everything. But now it's time for business.
Absolutely.
So let's do business. And after it's done, let's go have fun.
Absolutely.
See,
Absolutely.
but
I love it.
blur the boundaries, and there's an identity conflict of friend to business owner.
Mm.
And the boundaries have been blurred.
Wow. I think that's so common, especially for small businesses.
No, really, it is. And
Yeah.
you get it, because now it's like, oh, shoot. Yeah. It's like when people had to work from home. It's like they got the kids running around and they got this happening and all this stuff going on. It's like, I need to go to an office because the boundaries were blurred.
Yes.
They didn't know how to set a boundary from, this is my office, in-home office, because I can't leave. And this is my home, my family.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
that takes discipline and
It
awareness.
does. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I know that the average person who's working from home probably doesn't have that discipline. So it's like,
Right.
man, it's tough, what are, if you're an entrepreneur or business person, Ruben, I mean, what are some of the things that just, it should be a non-negotiable for you, for your success? I mean, are there any things that kind of stick out to you as far as like, these are the foundational things that you must either think or act on daily to be able to be successful?
And that's the thing where we make a values list. We all have different values.
Right.
So what's valuable to me? What are our values for our company? Integrity, loyalty, trust, compassion, love, money. So you have all those values and you put them in order. And those are the values. Once those values, something that comes in that's not aligned with the company values, it's out of alignment, incongruent, and it's going to hurt the company.
Gotcha.
And once that, and it's addressed, and it's like, if you're not good, say you see something happens and somebody sneaks a smoothie on a deal and back ends it or something.
Yeah.
It's a percentage cut somewhere. How you do anything is how you do everything.
Yes.
And it's like, they do that, and it's a, oh wow, you know, where else is that going to take place? Because they don't just happen to do it. And something unfortunate, once your values are the boundaries of your values are crossed, it's up to one to make a decision, because we only get what we allow.
Wow.
Once we start allowing things in our life that we're not okay with, then it's our decision, not theirs. People play big to say they always do this, they always do that. No, we allow them to do that.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
once where it says, this is what I do not allow, our company does not allow this, punctuality, you know, communication. Once those boundaries have been crossed, attention should be addressed. And if they don't comply with it, then that just goes to show they're not in it. And eventually you're going to have to continue to you know, it's convince them or deal with it.
Right. Right. And that's so exhausting too, to try to convince someone, to be on part of the team, or to be aligned with your values. I mean, it's like, and I've done that, Ruben, and it's, man, it can suck the soul out of you. You know what I mean?
Right. We only have, so we have business, we have home relationships, we have family, we have enough places to put our energy. Now to involve it in this, really?
Right. Right.
It's like, I get it. Business, I mean, I know you're very successful. You're at the event. You project success. Now, 15-20% of that energy goes to drama,
right,
that I could avoid.
Exactly.
It's like,
exactly.
that's on one. It's like, what am I allowing? Because I always get what I allow. And if I'm getting something that I'm not okay with, what am I allowing?
Right.
Like today's post on my Facebook, it says many people avoid confrontation and make an out-of-court settlement on their life of not confronting issues that's affecting their life. They make an out-of-court settlement. It's okay. I'll deal with it. It's all right. You go ahead and do what you're going to do. I'll take the weight. It's like, really? This is my company. I have the rules. I'm the manager. I'm the owner. You're the players. Understand, know your role.
Right.
If you want to be the boss, and start your own company.
Exactly. And then hold the weight of that responsibility.
Yeah. You got the lights turned on, the internet on, the ink in the printer, all this stuff, the rent, whatever it needs to be paid, that's on you.
Right.
That's a lot of people want to play owner, but on the sidelines. It's like, start your own stuff. People want to, because when we're a broker, when we had our own stuff, it's like people want to start their own company. Hey, more power to you. Have at it.
Man, and that's exactly, I've had multiple guys that have worked for my company, and I said the same thing, man. Hey, go for it. But you're gonna see real quick how unglamorous it is.
And then they come back for less percentage.
Yes.
And I remember my former wife was like, oh yeah, this agent came back. They're not coming back for the same percentage.
Absolutely not.
It's called learn knowledge. There you go. Yeah. It's called bought knowledge. I said, how much did it cost you? It's like, you're not going to be able to come back and then, oh, well, let them back. Nah, They went, they left, they thought, okay, that's what it's going to cost them. 5% less on their commission if they want to come back.
100%.
Because our boundaries are blurred. Oh, they're okay. They'll let me back. Hell no.
Man, so Ruben, what do you see as some of the biggest challenges? I mean, because you do all these conferences, you meet a lot of business owners. Is it finding the right team? Is that some of the biggest challenges? What are some of the most common challenges you feel like business owners and entrepreneurs are facing in today's world?
Allowing things in their business that they know or one knows. It's settling. It's addressing the situation. It's like, let's get this forward. And when people come in, it's like, what's the reason you're here? And then write that down or understand that's their driver, because that's going to get them up early in the morning, keep them late at night. They're going to be committed. So what's the reason you're here?
Right.
If it's for a paycheck, great. What's driving you? Okay, what are you going to do with that paycheck? Well, it puts a roof over my family's head. It gives them food. So great. Now they're there for their family.
Sure.
So I want to identify the reason they're there. If it's for money to get a car, I'm going to get me a Rolls. I'm going to get me this. Then it's material. Then you know their level of commitment. So that means they could go somewhere else that's going to give them more money. I
see. Okay.
See, it's identifying that of what's the reason they're there. I'm here to make a lot of money. Great. We have that for you.
Right.
So now you're going to tie that in when they're not generating, or they're not doing what they said they were. It's like, hey, remember when you came in and you said you're here to make a lot of money, but your efforts are not showing that.
Right.
There's no ceiling on what you can make here.
Right.
It's
100%.
that's what I'm saying. The level of managing their team, they're disciplining them instead of empowering them.
Mm.
There's a lot of title-driven leaders that want to, oh, I'm the CEO, I'm the owner, I'm this and that. No, it's empower your people.
Gotcha.
But don't give up a boundary of them running it. There's always, blurring the boundaries of a friend and an owner or a boss, however you want to lead. It's like, hey, we're here together, but it's like, it's a relationship.
Right. And it's empowering them, kind of like you said, going back on what's driving them, not necessarily what's driving you, but what's pushing them forward. Because
when we tell them, hey, you need to do this, people don't, who are you to tell me? Right. I'm an adult. I'm freaking 50, I'm 40, I'm 30. Who are you to tell me? No, like I share, I never tell people they have to. I'll remind them the reason they're doing it.
That's awesome.
See, it's a different energy. It's coming in from, hey, you got to come here on time. Remember when you started, you're here to generate income. Yes. By coming here at this time, it's not 100%.
Right. Right.
See, now it's it's addressing the same situation, but a different approach.
I like it. And it's coming because it's less threatening. I feel like
emotions high, intelligence low. When you're pissed off, you start saying, oh man, I did it. It's like, and all of a sudden emotions drop. It's like, shoot, man, I really laid into them.
Yeah.
Oh man. So now when we have that posture and say, okay, how are we going to approach this? It's a game plan, a strategy. You don't just go into a game and say, hey, let's play. No, we have a strategy. We have a game plan. We have a playbook.
Right. That's huge. That's huge, man. I think that's so powerful because seriously, I mean, and I even get caught up. You want to tell people, well, you do this, but it's kind of coming from your own reasons. And it's not motivating for people,
No, it's disempowering. It disempowers it. Like, who are you to tell me?
Right.
Right. I don't have a boss. I'm not on salary. I'm a commission-based person.
Right.
I get it.
Right.
But you're still under my roof. You're still under the freaking corporate. You're still under here. I get it. Whatever, and if they get to that point, it's just, you don't need to contest. There's things to address, and I don't need to contest or convince people to stay. If they don't want to stay, that's their decision. Let's address this as soon as possible.
Right.
Because the more we tolerate, the more it's going to affect other people in the company. Because the bad apple ruins the bunch. You get somebody who starts complaining and bitching, and let's go to lunch, and all of a sudden they both come back with attitude. It's like, hey, don't start,
Yeah.
And it's easy to do that because Jim Rome, you are the average of the 5 people who you associate with.
So true.
And you can tell that the team is a reflection of the leadership.
Absolutely.
All the employees, people is a reflection of the leader.
Absolutely.
And when leadership is a skill, a learned skill, leadership, right? There's title-driven leaders, there's people with positions, and there's leaders.
Wow, that's huge.
Positions is CEO, but they don't know how to manage, they don't know how to direct. But when you have leadership skills from all the courses you go to, I see you were taking notes and all these things of being a student and understanding we always don't know everything. That's a skill, a leadership skill to empower them to be leaders as well, because you want to duplicate you. We want a bunch of mini yous.
Right.
That way you start generating more income. You have your foot soldiers.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But that's still being who they be, but still with your leadership skills. That's
huge. And I think, you always have to have that mindset, like you said, where you don't know everything. You know what I mean?
No,
I mean,
it's
honestly, for me, it'd be boring if I did anyways, and it's like, I love learning and I love being in a room where it's like, man, I don't know anything. And it's exciting. It's invigorating, but not everybody shares that, that curiosity. But I think it's huge, especially now with the workforce and all these weird things going on in the economy. I think leadership is so needed. It's needed more maybe now than ever. And I feel like there's not enough good leaders out there in the marketplace.
Yeah, there's the airbrush leaders, you know, the
Right.
cars and all that. And
Yeah,
all of a
yeah.
sudden, they got a good 1 year and then they're done. It's like the one and
Right.
done. It's like the one
Yeah.
hit wonder, right? They close some deals, they make good stuff. And it's like, but how, like I said, I was able to generate it, but not maintain it because the
Right.
mindset wasn't there.
Right.
It was short lived. It was like, oh, you know, the first million blew it, get Rolexes, all the cars, and the house is overextended. He's got that. I want that. And that was the ego. It was ego talking. Now it was like, now it's more of let's see what's going on, set up for the future. It's the mature, but that had to happen for me to be where I'm at today.
Wow.
That I needed to lose everything, almost check out. I was suicidal, already disempowered. I was doing all kinds of stuff. But it was that moment where I heard the voice that said, it's not your life to take, stand up. That was the voice that I needed to hear that said, hey, this is serious now. Because it wasn't about me anymore. It was about a purpose. That's why I do all these seminars. My company, Stand Development, because when I heard the voice that said stand up, and when I stood up, that was the point of decision that I'm all in.
Right.
Yeah. And we know what's on the other side anyways. It's not like we haven't been there. It's like we know what's waiting. So if we like that lifestyle, have at it. But this other lifestyle is a lot better.
I think that's huge, man, because I think a lot of people, especially in the entrepreneur space, are motivated by the money and the cars and all that stuff. And to be honest with you, there was a point where I was too. And now it's like, it's about the fulfillment, right? I mean, it's, you know, it's so crazy, but it sounds like for you, your path, you've combined them. You married the success, which you have, but you've married it with that deeper fulfillment. You know, I mean, how could people find that? What's the first step? I mean, how do you find that inner drive to look for something more than just the materials?
Because it's like John Maxwell says, leaders, when they're moving and they turn around and people are following, that's a leader. If they turn around and nobody's behind them, they're just going for a walk. It's like the leadership is when you empowering people, the people following you, not for you to hear the validation of you're the best, you're the greatest. If that's what one is doing, that's short-lived. And people feel that. It's when people come up and say, Blake, by what you did, brother, by changing my life, man, I owe you. You know, that's no dollar amount can give you that fulfillment of somebody saying you changed my life.
That's so true. That's so
and
true.
We can't take it with us. Like I said, you don't see a hearse, you know, a U-Haul tied to the back of a hearse.
Right.
You don't see a U-Haul tied behind a hearse and saying, I'm bringing this with me, like Steve Jobs. How much did he take with him? Zero.
Absolutely.
You know, billions and billions. He took zero. So it's when one realizes money can't buy oxygen that you need to breathe and stay alive.
Right. Yeah.
Money's great. Money gives you the luxury. Money gives you lifestyle. We're all deserving. However, we're going to get exactly what we deserve. And at the end of the day, he's the one distributing the money.
Oh, man, that's powerful. That's powerful.
Saying, I'm going to give you this because I know you're going to do right with it.
That's
and
so
the more
powerful.
you do right, the more I'm going to give you. The law of reciprocity. You give, you receive.
Absolutely. That's so powerful.
When quick money comes. I mean, whatever our past is, I've been in the quick money for, you know, doing this, doing that. That money's quick and gone.
Yeah.
It's like, man, where did it go? Stuff starts happening, things start breaking, other stuff's going on, and all of a sudden it depletes the account, right?
Right.
And all of a sudden it's like, whoa. But then when one looks back at the action that they did to get that, it's incongruent.
Right. Wow.
But when one is staying right in alignment with the value system, everything starts happening because now it's done with deep roots.
Absolutely. That's so powerful.
Congruency. Yeah, we all know what we need to do. We all know it's not like we're, you know, I get it. We're not teenagers. We all have a life of experiences. And that's what we say. Our past experiences, how deep is our well? How deep is your well?
Right.
Because we've been in places where we had to dig deep, where there was no light at the end of the tunnel. It's like, there's no way I'm going to get out of it. And thank God he allowed us because we're here.
Healthy, that's so powerful.
Fit. I see you're fit, you know, you're in shape, you got your stuff squared away, got business going on, you're firing on all cylinders. That's a blessing that we have. and utilize that and saying, thank you, be grateful, here's some more.
Absolutely. Being a good steward of what was given to you. Yeah.
Yeah, we all understand there's a higher power, however we want to call it, but at the end of the day, he's saying here, or I'll take it away.
And man, and that's so powerful, Ruben. I mean, that's for me personally, that's how I view life now. Like every time, if I'm getting, if I'm in a moment where I'm like, man, I don't really feel like doing this, or I'm like, whoa, I was given a lot. Man, this is my responsibility, and being a good steward, being a good steward of what our Creator has given us. And I think once he sees that and he expands upon it, but I used to view things of just getting. I wanted to get stuff.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right, because man, I've had it happen. I've made fast money, and dude, it went I don't even know what happened. Seriously, it's crazy, but I've looked back and I'm even thinking about it right now, and I'm like, I don't even know how I lost all that money so quick.
Millions of dollars,
Yeah.
bro. Freaking 80, 90,000 a month. And it's like, where did that go?
Yeah.
It's like,
it's crazy.
and that's how it is. It's like it's short-lived. But like
Right.
you were saying, it's like, to whom much is given, much is expected.
Absolutely.
And it's like, I've been given this, so I have a responsibility. I have a duty. See,
Right.
having that and not saying, because, it's like, when one thinks it's them, boom, you're done.
Right.
It's saying thanks, and there's more coming. It's just doing what's right. And at the end of the day, we all know what to do. It's not like we're kids. We all know this isn't right. We have the intuition, the inner voice, something isn't right, because it's incongruent with our values. Our body, our check engine light comes on. When we have that hesitation, it's like they're saying, it's not what one does, it's what they don't do to achieve their desired outcome.
Mm.
Every time it's like, oh, it's dark, nobody's watching.
Yeah, trust me.
Eye
Yeah.
in the sky, and we
Yep.
get it. It's like, it's that point of hesitation, of decision, justification, or doing what we know we need to do. It's that
Wow.
point.
That's so
You either
crazy.
pay or get paid. Yeah, you either pay or get paid, baby.
I love it, man. I love it, Ruben. Man, this was inspiring, man, to have you on today, brother. Seriously. I mean, I love I came across you for the first time through Ricardo Rosales at his
Ricardo's
event.
amazing.
And I love hearing you speak, man. You're inspirational, you're motivational, and you have a great story. And I'm just thankful that you were able to hop on the day and be a part of the podcast.
Yeah, and I was making it, putting forth the effort, because when you reached out, I was like, yeah, let's make it happen. We had stuff going on.
Yeah.
And what it happened exactly how it's supposed to.
Absolutely.
And what you do and opening that door of opportunity as well is like, I'm congruent with what you're doing. I see, your success and how you empower people, and I align with that. So I'm ready to offer what I have to your group and to you, because more of what you're doing is needed in the world.
Awesome.
That's where we're at. That's why I came.
Thank you. Yeah.
Right.
Thank you, Ruben. I appreciate it, brother. Well, hey, it was awesome having you, man. Have a great rest of your day. And I'm going to stay connected with you, man. Thank you.
All right, brother. Take care.
Okay.
All right,
yes, sir. Bye.
All right.